All right, all right, all right. It's 7 o'clock Central Time. It is so awesome to see you here. John Lacey in the house. It's good to see you, sir. Look, I absolutely love every chance I get to be here with you all live. And tonight is Monday night. And it's going to be the last live I do for a few days, maybe about a week and a half or so. And then I'll be back on schedule. So I just want to celebrate a little bit of vacation time with you because it's summer school. In case you didn't notice the banner going across the screen up here, livestreamsummerschool.com. So we can't be in school all the time. Yes, John, I'm excited that you're excited to know a little bit about BeLive. And really, the guru, I will tell you, that I will send anyone to that really wants to know all the details about BeLive is going to be Dr. Ephraim Lopez, who was on as our special guest last week. But I am going to make sure, as a matter of fact, I'll see if I can pull up his information and the BeLive show, because they have Believer or BeLiver shows. Sort of like the town hall, I think that StreamYard tends to do. BeLive has something slightly similar. They have a show where they talk about BeLive and ways to actually do different things with it. And my brother, Dr. Ephraim Lopez, is one of the ambassadors. So I'll definitely point that out towards the end, but I'm just here to kind of do a walkthrough, just as we've been doing so far this summer. Every Monday, we have been getting on and talking about a walkthrough of different live streaming platforms. So if you're not sure which platform is right for you, hopefully going through a quick little tutorial of each of them so that you can see all the ins and outs will help you to make the best decisions. So I'm super excited and thrilled that you are here. If this is your first time ever watching anything I've done, I want you to type in hashtag newbie. And if you've been here before, I want you to type in hashtag OG. Now, this is not my normal night. I usually go live on Thursdays, and I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to my regular schedule because I feel a little off on Mondays for some reason. But any opportunity I get to be on live with you is a fun time. So we're going to have some fun. And if you have questions, if there's anything you want to know as we walk through this demo, make sure you ask them. So what I want to do is give folks a few minutes to go and grab your favorite notepad and pen so you can take some notes and jot down some questions. And if you do have questions, you can pop those into the chat. The best way for me to signal or to be signaled is for you to put a Q and a hypercolon, well, Q and a colon right after that so that I can actually see, oh, that's a question. But even if you don't, I'll be scanning through to make sure that I respond. So thank you for watching. All right, grab that notepad and pen, and in just a few seconds, we'll be right back, and we're going to do a full walkthrough of BeLive. And literally, when I do these, I try to do them on the fly, meaning that, yeah, while I'm kind of familiar, we're going to discover some things together about the app, okay? So let's experiment a little bit. I'll see you right on the other side of this video. Alrighty, folks. Again, welcome to my channel. This is Stream Like a Boss TV, and I am Tanya Smith. And what we're doing this week is, well, today is we're finishing up. Well, not finish. Yeah, we are finishing up the June series of our live stream summer school. In July, we'll begin some more episodes, and we're going to have another panel. Last week, we had a really fun and exciting panel that came on and talked to us about all the newbie tips. So I definitely have to do a replay of that because it was so much fun, and I'm hearing from people that it was so insightful. We do have one coming up in July where we're going to focus all on the gear. So I'm excited about that one too. Okay. So here's what we're going to cover. When I go through these platform overviews, I will talk a little bit about why it's a particularly popular platform. I'm going to highlight any standout features for you so that you see the differences between this particular space and other platforms you may use, I'm going to share with you how to get started, like how to get moving. If you get into the app, you know what to do first and what to do next. I'll do that. And we'll talk about any best practices and things maybe that you might want to watch out for. So that's kind of the agenda that we're going to cover for tonight. And if you do have questions, remember you can pop them in at any time. Even if you're watching the replay, I'll come back and make sure that I respond, okay? So don't hesitate to do that. Awesome sauce. Okay. Yes. And John, from my earlier note, I'm sorry I missed that. Yes, Dr. Elo, E-L-O, Ephraim Lopez, also known as Dr. Elo, capital E, capital L, capital O. So I will definitely make sure I get his information into the screen because he is the pro at BeLive, and like I said, one of the ambassadors, so he knows all there is to know. I'll probably miss a few things, but he won't because he knows it like the back of his hand. Now, I will tell you that we do have a sponsor that reached out on one of the platforms that we have coming up, and they provided a promotional code, a discount code that you'll be able to use. So if I do hear of any for the other platforms that we reviewed, I'll make sure to pass those on and pass those savings on to you. Okay, let's go ahead and get inside, and I'm going to switch on over to my beach screen share. All right, now what you see is I actually have another camera that's set up just as I've been doing with some of the other tutorials and demos. In a second, I'll move my face out of the way so you can get a full view of the window. But what you'll see at the very top is my personal affiliate link that will take you to try an account with BeLive. Now, this one is a little different in terms of the layout than the others that I've shown you, and I'll explain why, and I'll explain a few things that kind of you're going to have to get used to if you're used to using, excuse me, something like StreamYard or Restream, because it's a little different. Now, the thing that I do like about all of these different types of platforms is that they do find a way to be unique and to stand out. They are clear on trying to figure out a differentiator, because if they don't do that, a lot of these platforms I've been talking about have a lot of similarities. And so it would be difficult for you to figure out which one if all of them are exactly the same. So what you may have noticed is that every single one that I've reviewed has a little slight tweak to it, and this one is no different. It does have some tweaks, and there are some features that may be unique to BeLive that you won't see anywhere else. So I'm going to showcase some of those for you by putting it up on the big screen. And yeah, I would say that. So John, great question. BeLive's main selling point is the video and social selling features. I think that the social selling is probably the big deal of the day. That is the thing to me that stood out. So yeah, it's interesting that you picked up on that too. Let's take a peek. I'm going to see first. Let's see if we can get to their homepage. I might have to do an incognito window. Yeah. Oh, it was doing it. Let's go back. I want you to see first the homepage, and then we can kind of walk through that, and then I'll take you back into the backdrop, because I do own a lifetime subscription to, or a lifetime access, not even a subscription to BeLive. I can kind of show you the back end of it so that you can really see everything, all there is to see. Even though I don't particularly use this myself on the regular, I like to be familiar with all of these platforms so that I can answer your questions and make sure that you're getting the information that you need to make the right decision. So when you look at their page, you'll notice when you go to the homepage at be.live, or you can use the link that you see at the top of my screen there, you're going to see that it talks about enhancing your viewers' engagement, and very prominently at the very top, they have a link to Amazon. So when John mentioned that the social selling feature is a spotlight, I believe so. And I think they think so too, which is why they've really highlighted this. Before I started seeing Amazon connection to a streaming platform on Restream, BeLive had it first. I didn't see that feature on any other space besides BeLive. They had it first. And not only did they have this connection, this approved connection with Amazon, but they also had shoppable videos, and they also have now a live sales academy. Let's click on that and see what it takes us to. Now, the thing about this is they had this approved connection with Amazon, and this guy right here, I believe his name is Grant, is a huge Amazon live stream seller. So he does a lot on Amazon. And this was what attracted me to getting the lifetime deal with them, because at the time I was really heavily into studying how to become an Amazon influencer. And while I do have my influencer status, I haven't been as involved in it as I will be in the future. Only because I really think you need to sit down and think about what's my strategy, how much, what's my schedule going to be, right? What are the things I'm going to sell from my store on the regular, and how will I reach my audience? So a lot of the same business strategies we have to think of for everything, you need to be thinking about with Amazon as well. But what I love about their focus on this is that not only can you sell Amazon products, but you also, the comments that are coming through when you're on Amazon, and for any of you who have actually done Amazon sales before, you know that when you're inside of the Amazon platform, people are commenting. And previously, before BeLive, I don't know of a way that you would easily showcase the comments from Amazon onto your screen. There's a whole lot of differentiators. When you're doing Amazon live sales, for instance, you have to use their mobile app in order to make a connection to a streaming platform. There's a whole lot of different steps that I won't get into, but there was no way to really showcase the screen comments like you see right now that I'm able to actually pull up, for instance, John's comments. I can do that on screen here. You could not necessarily put that, the comments from Amazon onto your screen, but now you can, because BeLive is approved to allow that to happen. Let me do something real quick here and make sure. There we go. We turn off these alerts. Okay, so here's the other thing I wanted to show you. So this is their Live Sales Academy, and apparently they have a space where you're able to get an exclusive access to an 8-week course and master classes. I like that idea. I haven't even checked that out, but I think I might have to. So it gives you the ability to understand, oh, and these are some really big ticket players that do Amazon Live. So Grant Saunders, Molly Mahoney, Stephen Healy, Monty Weaver, Dr. Elo that I mentioned to you earlier. They're all here, so apparently they're doing some teaching in that specific space. Okay, the other thing that I think is kind of cool, which you'll see in just a minute when I do the demo, is something called Comment Assistant. And I don't know if you'll be able to see it since I'm not literally going to go live from Amazon or from BeLive, but I'm going to show you where it is and what this does, okay? So if you do have questions, pop those into the chat. And don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe
Stream like a boss
to our Stream Like a Boss TV channel. Okay, let's go on in here. I'm going to pull up the big screen so you can really see what's going on. Okay, so switching over to this camera right here, what you see now inside of the BeLive space. So notice how it is definitely different. It is different than the other spaces that we've played in, because almost instantly, now this may be me, so let me say that. It may be that I actually pulled my camera over. So if you get inside of BeLive and you see a blank window, that may mean you need to pull your camera up. So by that, what I mean is up here. Here, I'm going to push it down. Right? When it says this is your stream preview. So if you see a blank window and it's totally dark, that means you need to make sure you show yourself in the stream. Now, what I want you to notice about their layout that is different, and it will take some getting used to, is notice how over here on the left-hand side is completely empty. There's nothing showing. And over here on the right-hand side, these are the scenes that you're preparing to showcase. Okay? So if I move something over here to the left, then it shows up. So watch, show and stream now is on the left of this red line. So that's the way their system works, is they have different scenes that you can create and prepare ahead of time. And you're going to put those scenes on the right-hand side. And then when you're ready to show them, you'll click on show and stream, and it'll pop that scene up, okay? So you can have, I believe you can have multiple cameras. Let's double check that. I think you can now. Initially, you could not. Yeah, you can. So watch this. I think I'm going to try to switch this to one of my other active cameras. Let's do, which one do I want to do? Maybe I'll just do, I don't know if my Lumina is on, but we'll try it. There we go. Ooh, that's a big old face. Okay, move it down. Thank you. All right, here we go. So I'm going to put up both cameras. So notice I have two cameras. Now, one is not very well lit, but that's okay. For purposes of this demo, you can see how I have the two cameras. So notice again how I had the camera over on the right while it was in prep, and then I could move it over to the left when I was ready for it to show in screen. So there's different layouts that you can create based on your viewing pattern over here, or your viewing cube, if you want to call it a cubicle or queue. And then you have your preparation queue. Like, here's scenes prepared to be able to move over into the viewing queue. I'm sure they have some like terminology that you could use, but I don't know what it is. So that's why you need to go see Dr. Elo. Yes. Oh, Tiffany, thank you. Tuned into the last couple of lives, but I could never comment because I watch from work, girl. Look, do not blame me for getting you in trouble. I don't want you to get in trouble. Watch the replay if you need to. But I'm glad that you're here live. Thank you for being here. And thank you for that hashtag newbie. Super excited that you're here. So if you do have questions, holler before they come and get you back to work. Okay, so here we go. Like I said, everything that's on the left is what's showing in the screen, and the things that are on the right are things that are in a holding queue waiting to be shown. So if you were going to add images, if you wanted to add a PowerPoint or a PDF and all kinds of things, you can add those, and I'm going to show you where you add them. So you can already see the difference in the way in which this particular platform is showing up versus some of the others, because it is really focused on you being able to add different types of media and to create scenes that you want just in a different way. I'm going to walk you through a couple of other elements inside of this platform in a second, but first, let's go over here to this left-hand sidebar. So on the sidebar, you saw that you have the option to be able to actually select your camera, right? So we just added a third camera. And what I think I'll do is switch this to yet another camera. Let's see, which one will we choose this time? Because I have multiple cameras set up, y'all. But what I don't want to do is create a conflict like the Inception style thing. Okay, John wants to see the text on screen options. Okay, so let's try to dig in, and I'll show you a couple of things. So over here, I think is what you're talking about, John. And if so, I'll pop that up in just a second. Let me get rid of this one. And I want to walk through really quickly over here on the left. So you can add guests just like with any other platform. They're going to give you a link that you can send to your guest, right? And I believe there is a limit, but I don't know what the limit is. That's another one for Dr. Elo and the BeLive streams. So if you go to the BeLive channel on YouTube, I bet you'll find some tutorials and it will tell you right away. But I've seen a lot of folks, I don't know if it's as many as 10, but you can definitely share your link with your guests, and that way they can actually pop in and be on screen with you. Let's see, screen share. So if you wanted to do a screen share, here's where we're doing that. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose, what will I choose? I'm going to choose, I should have had a different, yeah, let's do that. Okay. I'm going to choose that as our screen share. The reason why I'm pulling these up is because I want to show you the different layouts so you can see how these look, okay? Now, the layouts, I don't believe that they are movable, like you can't move them around, although we could do that in StreamYard. I don't believe you can do that here. It's 8. Thank you. John just looked it up for me. Thank you. He's so awesome. I believe it's 8 on-screen guests, so your max could be 8. That's a lot of folks. I don't think I'll ever do that many on any stream, but that's just me because I would be scared and nervous that it's not going to come out right. Okay, so we're adding different things. Now we're going to look over here and add media. So you can add your Facebook link, you can add different slides, you can upload other things like a PDF document, so many different things. So let's see, I'm going to upload, let me find a PDF that is one I'm okay showing here. Let's see. It's not letting me upload a PDF, but it is giving me the ability to add. That's my girl, Tisha. Let's add something like this theater scene. Okay. So I'm just adding different things so that we can see what you can add versus not. Okay, so we couldn't add a PDF. I thought you were able to, but you can add a PowerPoint deck. So if you have slides, you can do that. I'm not going to add that because it will take too long to load, but notice how you have the ability, and it's prominently over here on the left-hand side, to add different forms of media. So let's play a little bit with the different windows so you can see how this might look if you're doing various layouts. Let's try it. So I'm going to show this in stream, show this in stream, show this in stream, and this in stream. That's a lot. And then down here, it will give you different ways and formats by which you can actually showcase those, right? So that's kind of neat. Now, would I ever have all of this going on? Probably not. What I will say is, I don't know if you noticed that, but one of these screens or streams, episodes, scenes, etc., one of these scenes has $47 on it. I'm going to show you why in just a second. The other thing I want you to notice is down here, just like with all the other platforms, because remember, they're doing a lot to keep up with each other, but also to still stay unique. But one of the things I noticed is that they have vertical view as well. So let's see what that vertical looks like. You use vertical in order for you to really be, let's do that. You use vertical in order for you to really shine for like a reel or shorts or something like that. So if you wanted to create a vertical video, you have the capability of doing that in just about every one of the streaming platforms. And apparently you can do that here in BeLive as well. Okay, so showcasing that for you. Let's do one. Oh, and I want you to see what I did here. So remember I mentioned that everything to the left-hand side of this red bar right here means that it's going to be a part of your scene. Well, I was able to hide everything else by clicking solo on. So I made myself, my camera, prominent. But you can also spotlight other scenes that you have down here by clicking on solo on. It just means that page is going to be what is the spotlight, okay? So solo on is what's doing that. Okay, and when you're ready to hide these different scenes, you can move them back over to the right by clicking on hide. So that's your navigation tip and lesson. This does work differently, and that's why I wanted to point this out. It's a little different than the other streaming platforms, but just like with other platforms and with anything related to streaming, it's going to be up to you to make sure you really get familiar so that you know and learn your platform like the back of your hand. So when you're going live, you're not worrying about, oh my God, where is this? Where is that? And there's comments popping up and I'm not able to respond because I'm freaking out. We don't want you to do that. So you need to get familiar with each one of these spaces that you're going to play in, and especially if you're going to choose a platform, which is what I highly recommend you do. Choose one and stick to it for at least a month or so and see if that's your happy place, right? Just figure out if that's your happy place. What's up, David Kennedy III in the house? Love to see you. Thank you so much for showing up for me, sir. Okay. So that's it on the most of the things on the sidebar. I'm going to move all this stuff just to make sure it doesn't accidentally pop up. And I am going to show you what that $47 thing was all about, because it's actually pretty cool. And that's where we were talking about the whole Amazon Live sales thing. Well, in addition to Amazon Live sales, you also have the ability to put your own link and pricing for anything. So if you have a PDF, if there's something that is a downloadable guide, if you want to sell tickets to your next webinar or whatever it might be, what I absolutely love is that you do have the capability of plugging those things in using this live sales button. And thank you so much, David. I appreciate that compliment. So over here on the live sales list, I just have one item. You can put as many as you want. If you're going to be doing a sales webinar / stream, that's where you're going to come, is into the live sales list to say, hey, here's the items that I want to share with you. Here's the pricing and here's the link. So here's what happens. What you can do is you click on this box that says send the link to the comments when the item is on screen. So what will happen is while you're live, if you pop up that particular screen that you've added for your product or service, and let me do this, and you can't see it right now because I'm actually not live on BeLive. I'm just reviewing BeLive through another app called eCam. But here's what you'll see when you pop up that item that you've listed as your sale item, right? So what will happen is it will show the image that you've included along with the pricing, along with the title. And then inside the comments over here on the right, you're going to see a pop-up to the link that you've included. So that automatically gives people who are viewing your video, your live stream, access to the thing that you're trying to sell. See how that works? That's pretty smart, because that way they don't have to memorize or try to figure out that really lengthy URL that you put on screen. They don't have to remember that. They can simply look in the comments and see the link has shown up for them so that they can go and buy the item that you're selling. So yeah, I like that one too. The nice side by side. This is probably my preferred. When I have used this for sales, I like this one the best. There's a couple of other ones too. So here's one that's a little bit bigger, John. If you really like a little variety, this one is here. And depending on what you use as your product image, you can really showcase something that you're trying to sell. So I just added something here just for purposes of us to do a mock-up tonight. But this will give you an idea of what it could look like. So over here in live sales is what you're doing is you're adding to your list and you're giving it an image, a name, a price. You could do a simple description and then add your item link and tell it to send that link whenever you pop that item that you're selling up on screen. It's going to send the link to the comments and chat. Okay, a couple of other things real quick that I want to show you. We'll move that out of the way. The widgets. Okay, so there are some widgets. I will tell you, this is not my favorite part. I don't really care so much for the widgets. But hey, I'm going to show you the ones that I probably would use. If I were using this, I would use follow. And with this, you can actually move it anywhere. You can change the design of the widget. I think they need to kind of modernize these a little bit more, to be honest with you. And I can say that because that's my opinion. What is snake? Okay, I'm going to show you what is snake. So when you go to widgets, there's a couple of them that you might be interested in. And by the way, I branded all this to match my colors. So you can brand everything to match your own colors for your show. But he asked about snake. So there's several. Notice there's countdown, which is my favorite, and I'll show you that one. I'm going to show snake first so that John can see it. So check this out, John. I honestly don't know the purpose, but I guess it kind of would be like a lava lamp. You know how people sit there and they watch the bubbles? I have a lava lamp that's sitting over here somewhere. It used to be in my scene, but it just snakes around your video. To me, I almost kind of wonder if that would be a distraction from the message. Tell me, okay, so you get to vote. And what's up, Chocolate Quilts? You get to vote. If you would be distracted by the snake that's going across the screen, I want you to type in 1. If you wouldn't be distracted and you think, it's cool, I would use it, type in 2. I'm curious, whether you're watching live or watching the replay, give me a vote on that. I'm going to leave it up for a few seconds. But personally, I would probably be very distracted. All right. Yes, you've seen it on Dr. Elo's show. That's right. Ah, and maybe that's what it is. So it has avatars of the people who have commented. Okay. So if I really were live on Be Live, then it would have faces and not just be these boring circles. Good to know. Okay. One, definitely distracted, but it's not. Yeah, it's different. And remember, I mentioned that these platforms are always looking for ways to differentiate. Tiffany says she's a two. Okay. Well, hey, you'd have to play with this if this is the platform of choice for you. Play around with it and see what you think, especially if it had faces. Maybe I could get into that. But for now, I'm going to turn it off. They also have a lottery jar. Now, this is kind of cool in that you can pick a winner, somebody who's in your comments. You could say, hey, I want you to type in an answer to this question. So, for instance, what we just did with the 1 and 2, anybody who's typing into the chat could end up being put into this lottery jar and you could pick a winner. So, I think that's pretty cool. I haven't seen that before, but this is a really neat feature. And as you notice, I can move any of these widgets around the screen here. But I like that idea for popping up a winner. It must be, John, similar to StreamYard's giveaway tool wheel. I think that it is. I've never seen it used, and this is one I'd probably see if Dr. Elo can come and demo for us one day, or we'll just go over to his channel and check him out and like his channel. But yeah, I think that's a pretty neat option for you. Let's see what else. Yeah, you got to have people in it for it to pick a winner. And since we're not live on Be Live, you can't really see this in action. But I think that is neat. Let's see what else. So they also have stuff that I would never use, like days in quarantine. Why? I don't know. I don't want to know. Okay, snowfall is cool. I like the snowfall at Christmas time. That could be a neat little effect. And there's some other things in here. If you really want to know how hot it got in Texas this week, we could pull up the temperature. This is low. Let me say, we're getting into triple digits right now, which is just crazy. Super crazy. Yes, and John is absolutely right. When you do giveaways, that gives people a fun way to keep watching. If you say, hey, I'm going to do a giveaway at the end, which is what the StreamYard folks tend to do, right? And then give away some of your merch. I'm going to be doing more of that myself. I'm really thinking through the best way to do this when we come back in the fall and start with our new season. So look out for that. Because I probably won't be using BeLive and I'll be using Ecamm, I'm going to have to use an external gaming type of system. So if anybody has ideas, John, I bet you'll pop up with some. Then I would love to hear from you so that I can see what I want to use. But so that's kind of an overview of the different widgets. You can do all kinds of things with that. The branding aspect of this is here. It's very limited in my opinion in that I've seen them say coming soon on these different themes for some time. Like the entire time I've had this, which now has been probably a couple of years. So I'm not sure if they're ever going to switch it up, but they do have 2 primary themes that I can show you. So the one that you're looking at that I have right now up, let me show you the text on screen because this is what John was looking for. John, I love that you got some dorky John Lacey logos on t-shirts and polo shirts and a coffee mug. Look, I love merch myself. Usually I have my Stream Like a Boss stuff on. I just didn't have it on tonight. But, you know, merch is cool. So I love that you can give that kind of stuff away. Be Live. So this is an example of a comment that's showing up on screen, and this is in the Big Giant theme. Okay, I'm going to name them Big Giant and Teeny Tiny theme. So this is the Big Giant theme. But watch what happens when you go to the Teeny Tiny theme. It's a different one, right? So when you go to themes and you go to modern, it's really called modern, not teeny tiny, but it will change to this. And I think I like the Big Giant theme a little bit better, but maybe it depends on your audience. So if you're doing, for instance, I don't know, LinkedIn or something like that, and it's a little bit more professional and you don't want everything to be huge, then you can use the modern theme and keep it clean and simple. Yeah, and maybe that's why I love it, John, because it's for older eyes, me, and better color contrast. I do believe that it's easier to see, it's easier on the eye to me, but I can see a purpose and a reason for doing the teeny tiny theme if you need that. Okay, so let's show a couple of other things. So they have overlays, so you can actually change these overlays up depending on what you want to create in your scene. So there are those that exist. I could move this out of the way real quick so you can see what it looks like. Similar to, again, some of the other platforms, but there are not a lot of options built in. However, you can add your own. So remember last week when we did Streamlabs Talk Studio, they had a ton of them built in. That's the only platform that I know of that has all of those pre-created for you. The rest of these have a few here and there, like Restream has a few here and there, and then you add your own. They're like, go out and find a designer or create your own. Do it yourself. So BeLive is a do-it-yourself category, but you can choose any of the ones that they have. I've just uploaded my own in here, and you can kind of see a preview of whatever you've uploaded. You can upload different backgrounds here. They have just a few that are available to you, and then you can add your logo. So all of this is available inside of the space. Okay, so that's the left-hand side. Let's start going over here to the right-hand side, and I'll show you a few other things. Now, John has pointed this out before on a couple of different platforms, which I absolutely think is genius for all of them to do, because originally, a few years ago, this was not the case, but now all of them give you the ability to be able to choose from different profiles. So you can create different folders based on the type of live stream you're delivering. Right now, I'm using this default template. I'm just shaking, huh? But I also could change this over to a whole different scene. This one's not my favorite. Let's switch it back. Okay. Chrome does have permission, but sometimes that pops up. Okay. So that is something that you want to know, is that they have the different profiles you can choose from. The other thing I want you to see is right here, they have a video editor and a graphic generator, which I won't spend too much time on, but I'll tell you the graphic generator is kind of cool in that it will give you an option for you quickly creating a thumbnail. So especially if you have a guest or two, you could add your guest images into the thumbnail, and it creates this nice little, not too flexible, because it just has their colors like the orangey and yellow and that kind of thing. But it has different graphics you can generate. And if we have time, I'll go over there and show you what that looks like. But I want to direct your attention to this text on screen. This is what John had asked about a little while ago. The text on screen is where you can add text that is going to pop up on your screen. Makes sense. Now, what I've added, I think I added this, or maybe they had it. You'll have to see if you get a brand new account. If you don't see these things in here, that means I added them. It just forgot. But if you do see them, these are templates that you can use to create your agenda, right? So your script for whatever your video is going to be. Let me switch something back because I like the big giant view. I like the theme with the classic a little bit better. See how that pops a little bit more? Okay, so here you have the ability to be able to show the first line of whatever it is you're going to be talking about. So I've got this right here, and I could say, hey, welcome to Stream Like a Boss Live, and I could pull this up, and then I can head to the next thing and ask people, let us know where you're watching from. So notice this could keep you on track with kind of like a little sort of kind of script outline, right? By creating this text on the screen. It's not going to put all the stuff, this little bitty writing that's underneath the title, but it will showcase your title. So depending on what you're talking about, it will pull that title and give you a prompt for you to be able to dive in deeper and talk about your message points. So you literally could add your message points here. Notice here, right? And that way you could show these things up on screen, whatever your message points might be. So where it has add item, and it does, in case you're wondering, it does give you the ability to be able to also do what they call tickers. So I have a ticker right here we can experiment with. I'm going to show that right across the screen. So notice that it's also huge. I know. Yeah, it's true, John. Standard lower thirds, but it's nice having those extra notes there for the host. So if you're someone who really needs help staying on track with your script, that could be helpful. Now, I'm not sure I'm a big fan of how giant this is. It's taking up a lot of the screen, but I guess that's where you can use the teeny tiny theme, right? Your choice, but they don't have a lot of choices as compared to some of the other platforms. So if that's a deal breaker for you, that's something for you to consider. Okay, what else do I want to show you? This comment assistant. Okay, I'm going to tell you what it does since I don't have people in here in BeLive for this demo. If you were actually doing a video, a live stream, and this is a real thing. I'm going to pop over here on my regular video for a second. This is a real thing when it comes to comments, okay? When you are operating a live stream, especially if you're newer to the game, there's a lot going on. There's a lot to manage. So the beauty of the comments assistant that they have inside of BeLive is that it showcases and displays for you comments that it thinks may be relevant to you and your audience. Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's based on AI or what it is, because I remember that being a feature that they had even before, everybody and their mother was talking about AI. So they have this feature that's built in, Comments Assistant, and what it does is it frees you up from having to worry about, oh, wait a minute, let me go pop up that comment. Wait a minute, let me pop that comment up. It will showcase, it will pull comments. If you've got this rolling, scrolling feed of people who are commenting on your live, and it will pop relevant things that it thinks might be, hey, this could be a good comment that you might want on screen. It will pop it up at given times throughout your stream. So that just gives you one less thing, one less task that you have to worry about if you're solo and you're running your own show. That is what Comments Assistant is for. Now, I will tell you, you have the capability of being able to turn it off. So right over here, you can uncheck that button, and now it's off. If that's something that begins to bug you and you're like, no, I want to make sure that I pick and choose specific comments that I want to see or showcase, then you can do that here. All right. I think those are the big ticket items in here. And other than that, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it. Those are the things I wanted to show you. They do have a technical troubleshooting feature down here at the bottom. And I will tell you, the couple of times that I've actually had to reach out to BeLive when I first bought it and was using it, they were stellar and on top of things. They got right back to me almost instantly, no matter what time of day or night. So if they still have that type of service, that's a good thing. That's what you want from any service that you're using these days. You want responsiveness. Oh, let me show you what happened to that text on the screen. Remember, did you notice when I clicked the X button that it rolled on out? It just moved over here to the left to the sidebar. So if you need to pop it up again, you'll have it there. And you can also access everything from here, right? If you want to do that. So you have options. It gives you choices. Okay. I think I've covered most of what you may want to see in here. Yeah, they are movable and dockable. That is correct, John. Let me show you the thing that I said I would show you if we had enough time, because we do have a few minutes. So over here on the upper right, you see these little dots, okay? And I hovered over them earlier and showed you that there's a video editor. Now, I haven't been in here for a minute, so we're going to check it out and see what it looks like. But first, I'm going to take you to the graphic generator. And this is what I was talking about when I said that you can create some limited versions of thumbnails. So this is neat. The only thing I would ask is, and I've asked this before when I first noticed this was here, it's like, hey, this is cool, but I really want my branded stuff. Like, I don't care about orange, but I could probably go with this white or this darker gray. I could probably use this and get away with it. And you just add the broadcast title. I'm going to put how to stream like a boss. Hey.
Stream like a boss.
And then I'm going to put June 26, 2023 at 7 p.m. Central Time. So now here's my thumbnail that I can use. And if I had someone else that was also participating, and let's just find, I don't know, I'm going to find a random. Let's see if we have any quick hitter ones I can pull in here. I'm going to pull, give me something fast. I'm just going to pull one of these AI things. I hate the Christmas ones. Let's pull that one. Okay, so here we go. So there you go. There's, if you had a guest, you can pop them up and now you have a thumbnail that quickly becomes the cover for your video. So this is neat. The only thing I wish that they had were more options for colors. Like, I would want to choose my own colors, but honestly, this could fit for my purposes. I just don't know about you. If you're somebody who uses blue and everything, you may not want to do this. But it's a neat little extra feature that's in beta right now, but I think it's been in beta for some time, that gives you the ability to quickly be able to create and then download thumbnails. What's up, Roy Richardson in the house? It's the tech troublemaker. So yes, I love that they all are trying to find ways to distinguish themselves. This could be potentially something that makes it stand out for you if you really kind of like the idea of having a quick hitter way to create a thumbnail. The video editor I don't think is super great, but we're going to pop over and see what that looks like. And yeah, that's exactly the point, John. I think that's right. It could help you get going quickly if you want to embrace those colors and the templates, because the templates are not bad. I just would want more options personally, but I could probably make this work, and you just have your background be the background of your image be your branded color if you want to do it like sort of like what you see right here. Okay, let's look at the video editor as well and see what that looks like. There we go, video editor. So this is the BeLive video editor. Oh, okay, I haven't seen this for a minute. So it looks like what it's giving you the ability to be able to do is to pull from your former broadcast. So if we were actually broadcasting inside of BeLive right now, and then we had our recording, it's going to save that recording. And now we can come in here and do some edits. Now, because I haven't been in here for a minute, I would have to play around to see if this does similar things to what StreamYard does, where it allows you to be able to create short clips, because that would actually be pretty cool. Yeah, Michelle, because she said, I've had it since the beginning and did the lifetime and still don't use it. I wonder why. There's a lot of different options, and that's the one reason why I'm doing this series of tutorials about all the streaming platforms, so that we can kind of refamiliarize ourselves with all the different platforms that are available. There's going to be one or more that will stand out to you in this moment that would be good and right for your live stream. So I hope that you will pick one. Yeah, Roy, we showed the snake, and I didn't know that that's everyone in chat. And I was expressing my opinion that it would get old and distracting, but it's new and different. And that's the thing, that all of these spaces, these platforms want something that's going to stand out and make you remember them, right? So people remember the snake and they'll remember your show because you had the snake with the chat, with the pictures of people who were in the chat scrolling across the screen. Let's see, was this a lifetime deal on AppSumo? I can't even remember anymore. Michelle, probably. Actually, no, the one I got was not on AppSumo, but they did have an AppSumo deal. Mine was through a group that I'm a member of, a private Facebook group that does all things tech. And so I found out about the BeLive, the lifetime deal that they had available at that time on that group. And it was a really good deal. I just don't use it often. But like Michelle said, there's so many. There's so many different options out there. Okay, something I noticed over here. Let's click it and see what it does. It says create shoppable video. Because remember, they're all about the shopping and sales experience. Okay, it looks like I had something in here at some point. So you can edit your broadcast efficiently, studio events, or more right inside of the timeline. Okay. So, you might be able to create some shoppable videos that you can put onto Amazon. I do like the idea of them giving you the option of creating all things sales related. And with them having that sales academy, that's a good idea and a great differentiator. Michelle said, yeah, hers was on AppSumo. She found her deal there, but she was using them even before that. I think I remember that. Michelle. Yeah, and that's exactly right. So some people full time are doing shoppable videos and reviewing products. And honestly, at some point, but I'm trying to do too many things and I recognize that. Some point down the road, I'll add that into my strategy, but right now that's not part of it. But look, I noticed that they have 9x16s, 1x1s, which nobody really uses anymore, 16x9s, and then you can add these templates. If only I had a video to play with, I would mess with this a little bit more. Let's see what else they got. Okay. I'll have to play around with this and do another video so that you can see what this looks like. But I like the idea that you're able to actually pull up or create something and then make sure you're following the Amazon rules. Look, so it's giving you specific information about Amazon rules because I believe they are truly an approved connector or integration with Amazon, which is why they're able to pop up those Amazon comments. That is cool. So if you're thinking about becoming an Amazon Live influencer, this could be a good path for you having BeLive because look at all these features and maybe being a part of their sales academy, you could really learn more about how to drive that out and make that lucrative for you as another source of income. So think about it. Yeah, I know. How do you make your subject matter not just random home shopping channels? So one of the things I've seen people do with shoppable videos is they will focus on a niche, right? So for instance, you have people that are only selling fashion, women's fashion, women who work at home fashion, moms of toddlers, right? Items that moms with toddlers would have, or maybe it's all shoes all the time, right? But the more niche and the more categorized you can get with the videos that you're creating, if you can figure out what that looks like and have a theme that kind of runs through the products that you sell, that's going to be the gift. So when I set up my Amazon store, and maybe I can pull that up for you. When I set up my Amazon store, that's how I was thinking is, okay, well, how can I make sure that I'm creating a store that really kind of resonates with people who are already watching my live streams? Like, I don't want to create something totally separate and random. I want it to be related. So as I was coming up with categories, and I'll show you that real fast, as I was coming up with different categories for the stuff that I wanted to sell. Oh, hold on. I'm not trying to show all of that over here. I basically said, okay, well, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to create best webcams, best tripods, best teleprompters, best video lighting. So I was creating categories of things that I thought people who watch my show would want to know about. Video t-shirts with video, quotes and motivation on them, a live streaming kit. But I was thinking through whatever your expertise is, how can you create categories and buckets of products that sell on Amazon in that niche? Now, there are other people who do just go random. I don't know how well that works because I haven't studied that enough. But for me, the logical thing is to tie all of my different products, programs, services, merch, anything that I'm promoting as a sale, I want it to point back to this is my expertise so that it's more memorable. And you think of me first when you're thinking about that thing, right? Or those related things. But hey, you got to experiment and see what works for you. So think about in your own category of expertise. Is there a niche? Could it just be a series of books like you're doing a book club? They used to have the book club open on Amazon so that you could create your own book club. And then you would be able to actually have, which I think Charvette Mitchell does, you could have your own set of authors that are coming on and doing a live stream promoting the book that is being sold on Amazon. Anything that you sell through Amazon Live has to be an Amazon specific product, and you can't lead people off of the Amazon site in order to go do other things, or they will ban it or shut down the stream. So that could potentially be an option if you have a book or something else that's being sold, a journal that you created that you're selling on Amazon. Then you could have different people coming in and talking about how they use it. You could do live streams that talk about crafting and how you create your own journal. The process, right? All of those things I could see being related, but again, thinking to what would be related to the niche of the thing that I sell and to the solutions that I offer to people like regularly. But I know that's a little bit off topic because we were talking about BeLive. Okay, so BeLive. I hope that you enjoyed this overview that we did tonight and a few extra things that we did as well. If you liked the video, remember to like, follow, and subscribe. Like John always says, smash that like button.
Stream like a boss.
Yeah, we want you to follow, like, and subscribe and come back and watch us. Now, I am, like I said, going to take a short hiatus. So if you're not clear on what our schedule is going to be for the rest of the summer, make sure you go to livestreamsummerschool.com. Let me pop that up real quick here. Livestreamsummerschool.com will have our full schedule for the rest of the summer, and it is free for you to be in the space. Come and hang out with me and learn a little bit more about live streaming. You have a great morning where you are in Australia. Thank you, John. I think we will have a good night. And I will see you all next time in the stream. But thank you so much for joining Roy and Michelle and John and Tiffany and Chocolate Quilts, all of you who were here. Thank you for being here and thank you for being so supportive and for asking questions and sharing thoughts and comments, because I love the opportunity to get to engage with you. That's the reason why I love streaming so much. Have a great evening, and I will see you next time in the stream.